Well, basically, this is a very holistic symposium covering all important fields on precision medicine and how we can move forward. So, for example, the first session that we had this morning actually was centered on the patient and the patient advocates, because at the end, all what we do is centered on the patient. So we want to promote as much as possible really personalized medicine moving forward and implemented in the patients. So that's why this session was very important. The next one, it's covering some important aspects on how new diagnostic tools may improve the way on what we have a complete evaluation of, not only of the tumor of the patients, but also in some instance the host, because everything is important. And this is not only related to genomics, it's also related to transcriptomics, proteomics, new technologies that are evaluating more and more these components of the tumor, and also all the bioinformatic process that leads at the end to some meaningful information that can be translated into therapeutics. So this is really very important. Also, fundamentally from a meeting like this is the interaction that we have with pharma companies, and there are going to be some seminal presentations on how we can especially combine new drugs, because we know that the tumors are heterogeneous, so we have different clones, and drugs have to be combined. So this is a very important question. So how we are going to be combining these drugs, targeted agents, kinase inhibitors, and even with immunotherapy approaches, because we have the revolution of immunotherapy, but it's still difficult to think about how we combine these drugs, either all together or on the right sequence, but obviously discussions on this are really very important. Also, interestingly, we are going to focus on some tumors where we have been succeeding on how we can categorize and reclassify these tumors in different subtypes based on all these technologies, genomics, proteomics, that I have mentioned before. So basically we have the example on colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and lung cancer as some examples of what can be done in these highly frequent tumors, but also in other tumors that are more rare. Interestingly, we also have a whole session on how the dynamics of disease can be evaluated, because we are putting a lot of pressure in the tumors with new drugs, new targeted agents, even with immunotherapy. But the situation is that the tumor evolves over time, not only spontaneously, but also due to the pressure that some of these drugs exhibit to the tumor. And this is really very important, a very fascinating topic, but actually helps us as clinicians to develop tools that can be easily accessed. For example, the liquid biopsy, not only looking to circulating tumor DNA, now we are transitioning to other very interesting fields like mRNA and exosomes in the blood. And this is still very experimental, but sure, we are completely sure that that these technologies will add important information also on tailoring, on how to tailor the treatment over time. And finally, we are going to end with another important session on how we can translate this amount of data, the big data that we have, into what is called smart data, right? At the end, smart data, it's what we can translate to meaningful opportunities for patients. And there is going to be even a debate on the pros and the cons of this translation of big data to smart data. Well, out of this, I think that the most important revolution is going to be on the new technologies just to evaluate the dynamics of the disease. As mentioned, the important field for all kind of liquid biopsies. This is going to be one. And the second one, also important for the patients, or even more important, is how we use this information to tailor combinations of treatments, including targeted agents and immunotherapy. And And certainly some of the new clinical trials that are being generated by the WIN consortium actually are taking all these approaches, translating this to the ultimate goal that we want, and that is the benefit for our patients. We all do this for patients, so that's why they are in the center of our consortium. Even we have members that are patients advocates in the consortium, but also, as you have seen in the WIN symposium, actually we have the first and the plenary session centered on the patients and the patients advocates. I think it's a very unique conference because in 2 days, 2 busy days, I have to say, you have a very holistic approach on the field of personalized medicine, and that's the beauty of the WIN consortium. So the members that we have represent not only academic institutions, represent also pharma companies, diagnostic companies, patient advocates, even regulators are coming to the consortium and the meeting, and actually. With this interaction, because we have a lot of interaction, we can promote very rapidly the field of precision medicine moving forward to the patients.